This is Abby from Stone Real Estate Agency. How can I assist you today?
Hi, Abby. I wanted to speak with an agent about selling my house.
Hi there. I'd be happy to help you get started with selling your house. Our experienced agents would love to provide you with a property appraisal and discuss your selling options. Could I get your full name so I can arrange a consultation with one of our agents?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Today in this video, I have Andon, who's an AI sales agent expert. And look, what we're going to be going through in this video is he's going to be building one live and showing you guys how to use an AI sales agent appointment setter for your own agency and also for your clients. Without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to Andon, who's going to take you through everything.
What's going on, guys? I appreciate y'all stopping by. We're gonna make it super simple. The goal is for you to basically build an AI agent. If you have like absolutely no experience at all, you've never built a single thing. We've designed it so that way, from start to finish, you'll have a really good idea of how to build something you can sell for a couple $1,000s. Just to give you some insight about myself, I sell this exact service to roofing companies in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And in the last 3 months alone, it's actually generated them about $120,000 in revenue just from extra deals they've been getting. They've been getting about an extra deal a week just because they're not missing phone calls and it's booking
Yep.
appointments straight into their calendar. So
Man,
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I didn't even actually mention, but if you guys do want this system, if you want Andon to help you, if you want to buy the template, then there is a calendar link in the description. It's not mine, it's Andon. So feel free to book a call, have a chat with them, and see how he can help you within your own agency.
Thanks, Cody. Appreciate you,
No
brother.
drama.
So I'm gonna put the screen on really quick and let me
Do it.
know. Does it look good for you right there? Can you see everything?
Yep, everything's good.
Perfect. Okay. So it's pretty simple. We're gonna keep it short and sweet as much as we can anyways.
Yeah,
But I'll
fantastic.
start kind of just going through the slides and it'll walk us through what to do from here. So what we're gonna need for this build, okay? So what you're gonna have to kind of go and just go ahead and grab yourself before you start building. You're gonna want you a VAPI account.
Okay.
It's free to start. Just go sign up with your email. Google email works great. Go get you a make.com account. You can have 1,000 operations for a month for free every single month. And ideally, once you get clients, if you want to upgrade from that point, you can go. It's like $10 a month to get like 10,000 operations. And operations are basically every time the scenario runs, so it's pretty cheap. You're
Yep.
going to need you a Go High Level account. Right now, actually, and this is like even without an affiliate link, you don't have to use an affiliate link to get Go High Level. You can go and Go High Level's main site, get you a 30-day agency level free trial. So that's currently going on right now at the time of this recording. Even if it's not, typically they do 14-day trials. So you can go
Yep.
get you that for free and get started. And then we're going to be using Airtable. And Airtable is basically like Google Sheets on steroids. You can do a lot of really good automations with it from there. That's the four things you'll need to do this basic build just to kind of get up and running. Okay,
Super
so
simple.
the next thing, this is kind of like a bonus add-on, especially if you're a beginner, it can be kind of hard working through problems. If you have like a question, you don't have somebody there to answer it.
Yep.
There's this amazing tool. It's called Perplexity, and Perplexity is like think of ChatGPT. Of course, ChatGPT has this ability where it connects to the internet, but you get access to every language model. So
Yep.
you can use Sonnet 3.5, you can use Grok, you can use, of course, OpenAI's models, but it's a direct way to interact with an artificial intelligence that's directly connected to the internet. So anytime I run into a problem,
Yep.
you literally give the AI the context, what's going on, and you tell it, hey, I'm stuck on this. And it will research that exact thing and help you figure it out. So
Beautiful.
I'll be showing you how to use that. So that way, if there's anything unanswered in this quick video, you're like, okay, you can fall back on Perplexity, which is going to help you solve your specific use case. Okay. So
Great.
uh, what we'll do from here is we'll hop straight into VAPI. All right. So this is going to be the VAPI dashboard. Once you originally get into VAPI, you're going to be kind of greeted with this dashboard. Yours will kind of say all zeros if it's a brand new account,
Do you want to
which,
make this obviously like right now we're on
yeah,
50/50 with
yeah,
the
absolutely. Let me go
slideshow.
full screen.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that better? Yeah,
Awesome.
we'll pop in right here. No worries. So what you want to do is you'll come into this VAPI. So the first thing, once you get your VAPI account set up,
Yep.
you're to come straight here. Okay. You're going to go to the assistance tab.
Mhm.
And there's a couple different things you could do, but the first thing you want to do is create an assistant. Okay.
Yep.
Once you get here, you can name it whatever you want. What should we name this today, Cody? What do you think?
Sales agent demo.
Sales agent demo. Okay. We can actually give it like a cool little name
Yeah,
later
that's
if
a
you
bit
want.
boring.
But for the purpose of the video, I think it works
Yeah,
just fine.
that's fine.
So they have a couple pre-built
Yep.
templates. You can use appointment setter, customer support, inbound
Okay.
Q&A. I'm gonna go blank
Yep.
because actually no. I'm gonna go appointment setter because that's what we're building. Okay.
Yep.
And it's gonna give you the VAPI pre-built appointment setting. And what this does, it's just got a little prompt basically in here that VAPI gives you.
Oh, that's
And we're
fantastic.
actually
Okay.
just to make it super simple and super beginner friendly, I'm going to show you how to use this exact prompt that VAPI gives you and customize it to your potential client, right? So we're going to utilize the tools that I was showing you a second ago using Perplexity. That way, if you're not really super great at prompt building just yet, you can utilize the tools to give you a really good
Yep.
prompt to go ahead and start with.
Love it.
So this is what you're going to be greeted with right here. So we have it's got you like the first message. So just to kind of give you a rundown, this first message is going to be the very first thing your agent says. So if you get on the call, first thing it says, right? So in the pre-built, you have, hello, this is Mary from Mary's Dental. It looks like they kind of have like a pre-built configuration for a dental office. So now we can give, we can kind of personalize it. What name do you think we should give our agent today, Cody? What do you think?
Let's go Abby.
Abby. So we're doing a
Abby.
female agent. And you
Female
always want to kind of, yeah, you always want to think about that too. Like when you're building these agents, you want to make sure like it's it matches the audience you're going to be
Yeah.
working with. So let's say we're going to be building Abby, and who's our client today? Who are we building this for?
Let's do it
Which,
for a what do you think? What sort of niche?
well, I think of a good like what's a good niche like you think an agency would do well in? We could do like a real estate. We could
Yeah, we
do
could we could do real estate. All right,
okay.
let's do real estate then.
Let's do okay. So we're building Abby from a kind of example real
Let's
estate. We could
go,
say
yeah, let's go, I don't know, stone real estate.
Stone real estate.
I
Abby
don't know.
from Stone. That sounds good to me. There's all types of real estate agencies
There
out
is
there.
there is, yeah.
Stone real estate agency. You get the gist. You'll be able to
Yeah.
build this. Okay, and this is
Yeah.
how could I assist you today? So basically, we would take this prompt. This is where we're going to use Perplexity, okay? And
Okay.
this is a pretty good now. This is a good basic prompt to use that VAPI gives you. They've designed it in a way to where it's a very human-like interaction.
Yep.
So you want to take
Exactly
this
what we want.
prompt, yeah. And so what you'll notice if you kind of read through it, it's like it gives one
It's a
good
job
thing
description.
when you're building these agents, you want to make sure you're using best prompt practices, right? So the first thing it does is it gives it a role. You're a voice
Yep.
assistant from Mary's Dental. Now, obviously, it hasn't been fixed just yet, but we'll get that in a sec. Gives it a role. It tells it the hours of the business right here.
Yep.
Mary's Dental provides services in the Anaheim community, all stuff that you want your agent to have context of. So that way, when they're talking to the callers, they got a really good context of what's going on. Okay, so what we want to do, and we're going to go ahead and jump straight into using Perplexity here because I just want you to be able to do this even if you've never built a prompt before. You can take the system prompt and you can just copy it. Okay, go ahead and copy that. We're going to go into Perplexity. We're going to say, hey, Perplexity. You just literally talk to it like you're talking to a teacher or somebody you need good advice from, right?
Yep.
Say, hey, I'm building an agent using, you always want to tell it what tools you're using,
Okay.
VAPI, and I want to recreate the prompt for my clients, right? So you want to tell, hey, we're taking this prompt, remake it into a new client profile, pretty much.
Yep.
We are, let's say, when you give it my client's information, my client is a real estate agency. Let's just say, what do you think, in the Sydney area?
Located in yeah, Sydney.
Located in Sydney, Australia. And from here, you want to give it the context too, like what the hours of the company is. Well, anything you think that they might need this to be customized to.
Okay.
So it's got a demo kind of a demo location there, but it should get that anyways. The hours 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We'll keep the hours the
Yep,
same for this
keep that.
purpose, but you can change that. And let's go back into complexity here. Sydney, Australia. The agency's name is came
Stone.
up with Stone Real Estate Agency.
Yep.
Copy that. So the name of you always want to make sure that it has the name as well.
Okay.
Agent is Abby.
Yep.
So we're gonna say, hey, the current prompt. So we're gonna literally take the current prompt. We're gonna come back here and make sure it's
Copy and paste
copied.
it.
So then you're gonna give it that.
Yep.
Please use best practices for creating copy prompts. So that's going to literally cue Perplexity to say, okay, I need to first, Perplexity has kind of like some reasoning to it. It's going to then research, well, what goes into a good VAPI prompt? So if
Yep.
you've never done it before, it really helps you do that. And it also keeps it structured the way you've given
Okay.
it. So please use best practice for VAPI prompts. Also, please output a paragraph gave you for easy to copy. So sometimes these AI models, they like to kind of get a little wordy.
Yep.
So they'll output like this weird thing. So you want to kind of tell it how you want your output to look. So then it's going to go through it. And now it's literally giving us
Oh yeah, there you go.
what to do here. Now, one thing I don't like that sometimes it does is like, okay, it's saying it's taking the fact that we're in Australia. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
greet your customer with good day, mate, and all that stuff. It's like, we don't want to do all that.
No.
So you can just tell it that, hey, take away the Australian.
No worries is fine, just not g'day, mate.
Yeah, yeah, right. Greetings.
You guys say no worries over there?
Yeah, we say that a good bit. Because you don't want it to be like overbearing. So
no, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
And then you can just kind of have a conversational. This is just a good way to edit the prompt without having to be too crazy with it. Without getting too in depth. So it's taken literally the same bones that we had in the last one, and it's pretty much recreated it for us. And let me see.
Fantastic.
I'm actually looking. I don't see. Make sure the hours. So also, I want you to kind of notice too, like how I'm working here. Like,
Yeah.
you want to lean on your tools. Like, you can go in and customize this prompt later, but leaning on Perplexity like this really gets you to be able to do anything you want to, even though you don't have the experience just yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure the hours are in there, like the original. I noticed it kind of took away. So you kind of got to pay attention, make sure that everything's still in there. There we go. That's what we want. We'll assist potential clients, ask their full name, get the property they're interested in, request the preferred date for the viewing, contact number. Cool. Awesome.
Yep. And
it's also got the other stuff in there as well. So you're going to take that and you can just paste that in here. Now it's like a fully customized way to it's customized to the client that you're building it for, right? So
exactly.
Pretty much from in here, you're gonna say, okay, well, we got our agent prompt. I'm gonna show you exactly what I use when I'm building this. So we have just some different tabs over here, like provider. So this is gonna be your language model you're using. I always like to use let me see, Anthropic, because they're just consistently more human-like responses. And I like to use the language model 3.5 Sonnet. And you want to use the latest one. It's going to be 3.5 Sonnet 1022. That's going to be your latest language model. And you'll also notice like up here, we have like some costs associated with it. Costs. It's going to be about 10 cents a minute right now, the way it's configured, which is pretty cheap considering you're not having to have a human in place answering these calls. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem when you're building this for someone. You also see latency right here. This is basically the delayed response, because with any sort of like language model processing and all that, there is a delay. I will tell you, 6 months ago, this this number was much bigger, meaning it
Yep.
was longer. It was maybe about 2,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now the models have gotten so fast, VAPI's gotten so fast. It's it's in half. So it's way more human-like interaction
That's amazing.
with your agents. Yeah, it's really good. So from here, pretty much from right here, you can go ahead and start having a conversation. You can start testing out the assistant.
That's it.
But if you
That's
don't,
simple.
yeah, it's that simple to
Wow.
build something where you can talk to it. And we want to
Oh,
rename this
wow.
to Abby at the top here.
Yep.
So this is like the low profile. You get it up and running. Very good. You always want to press publish. Publish is
Okay.
important.
Yep.
That's basically like saving your progress, right? So
Okay. Yep.
now we have something that can connect to a client's phone number and can go ahead and start taking calls once you configure that part of it. But the problem is now is it's not going to be doing anything, right? It's not going to be able to book appointments. It's not going to be able
No.
to, take notes or anything like that. But you can talk with it. That's the BAPI side. So what we just did is we created a system, we
Yep.
created a prompt, and now we're going to go and set up the next very important part, which is basically building a database for your agent to host information. So we're going to go on Airtable. Again,
Yep.
you need to go ahead and create you an Airtable account. And what you'll do is let's go here. We don't want to go to workspace. I'll go to my first workspace. We want to say create right here. So it's going to kind of give you an option. You just want to say start from scratch. And we're going to name this database Abby, just to keep track of everything.
Yep.
And we're going to basically go ahead and configure everything up here at the top. So where it says name, you just want to go ahead and put time call that really quick. And that's going to be Airtable can be a little confusing when you first ever use it. You want to make sure
Yep.
you're using the sections the way you want to. So you want to open up, press edit. We have time of call here. We're going to do a single line of text. And then we're going to have phone number because we want to capture the phone number of the caller that's calling in.
Yes.
We're going to do single line of text right there. And then we're going to go to, let's see, interested, which is a good little field to have to make sure, now this, actually, we're going to skip this part. We're not going to do the interested section. That's really more or less for outbound. So what
You've got a
we'll
little bit
do,
of static though on your
uh-oh,
mic, on just on your headphones a little bit.
we're going to put a section here that says call summary.
Yep.
Press save and make sure, well, that's going to be single line. Your Airtable is going to come pre-configured. So you just want to make like pre-configured, meaning it's going to have like all these different sections. So you just want to make
Yep.
sure these texts are put in a single line, make sure they're good. And then from here, we got call summary. We're going to go dates. So it's going to be like the date that they maybe perhaps want to book an appointment for
Appointment. Yep.
future use. So single line. And then we'll come here, we'll get our email. They gave us an email. And you want to set up your agent to ask for their email, of course, too, and it'll be able to
Yes.
kind of catch that information. Let me come over here, Scoot. I'm doing this again. Well, email, time zone, single line. So this is kind of like the background stuff you gotta get set up. That way the
Yeah.
agent can
Yeah.
can 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 utilize everything we need it to. And then a really important one that clients really like to have from what I've seen is they like to have like a recording, right? So
Yeah, definitely.
VAPI is really good. Once we design we're going to design the agent in a specific way to basically pass recordings to our
Perfect.
database. So that way our client can always go back and say, hey, what was this? What exactly did this call sound like? Why, then that has a lot of different use cases in its own right. So that's pretty much your Airtable. You want to have your time of call, your phone number, your call summary, a date, email, time zone, call recording. Now you can add anything to this based off your use case. If there's
Yep.
maybe you're working with a specific type of client who needs like something filled out, like for instance, I know in the roofing industry, a lot of
Yep.
times it's really important to know what insurance company they're with. So, something like that, you want to have like an insurance company tab, something that
Yeah.
your VAPI agent will be able to pick up on and insert into
Yep.
an Airtable. So then we're going to go. So that's our Airtable side of thing. It's set up if you've done all that. We're going to go into
Yep.
make.com now. Okay. And this is where we're going to use basically a no code backend for data to be passed from VAPI to Airtable and
Yep.
eventually to go high level as well.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
you can come here and we'll hop in. We're going to create a new scenario. Okay. So if you've never used make.com before, this is what you're greeted with. This is what it looks like initially. It's kind of like,
Yep.
it looks like Bubbles, but it's basically what's going to handle all the no code. It's really beginner friendly. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to come in and you're going to want to
Yep.
find this webhooks button right here. Okay.
Yep.
And this is where we're going to basically enable a scenario that can take information from VAPI and
Yep.
put it into whatever else we need to. So we're going to press webhook, custom webhook right here where
Yep.
it says instant. And then from here, we're going to want to press add a webhook. Okay, that's going to create a webhook. I always recommend naming it because if you don't, it could get kind of confusing as to what where to find it when you need it later. So we're going to name this Abby agent. Okay.
Okay.
And then we're going to press save. And that's now it's a live webhook. We got a link right here. That's
Yep.
going to be an important link for later, for this next step actually. And what that will do is basically we're going to hand this link right here to VAPI to know where to send the information to.
Okay. Yep.
And then we're going to want to put an additional part of this scenario into our Airtable. And also when you're using make.com, when you initially create this, you're going to have to get your connections, right? So you see up here at connection, it
Yep.
says it's got my Airtable connection, right? So if this is your first time doing it, you're gonna have to log in to Airtable. It's pretty simple. It's just like connecting, Facebook to a third-party app.
Yep.
Make.com is very simple. You log into your Airtable through here, and then you have it.
Perfect.
And then from here, you're gonna have like your base and everything we configure it to. So
Yeah.
I've got a lot of different things right here. If it's your first time using it, it should be a lot shorter. Either way, you can just search. So we're looking for our table named Abby. That's what we named
Okay.
it. So now we
Yep.
have our table right here. It's really good.
Yep.
And it's going to come up with all the information we may need. Table one. So
Pretty
now
simple so far.
all those sections we created, we're going to be able to insert information into. So as our VAPI agent is talking with our customers, it's then going to be able to send that information through our webhook and eventually into our Airtable for a nice
Okay.
organized view of things. So we're going to always make sure you press save on your scenario before you
Yep.
go to a different tab, but that's the first part of this make scenario we're going to have set up. Cool. So from here, we got our make.com scenario. It's listening
Yep.
for anything being sent from VAPI. So now the important thing is we have our conversational. Like I said, we have our agent. It's able to listen. It's able to talk to us. Now the
Yep.
important thing is we got to get it to go ahead and start taking in information, right?
Of course.
So we got to go back. We got to go back into VAPI and make it give it a bit of a brain, if you will. So we're
Okay.
gonna go over here in this little drop down tab. And let me get back
Make it full
mode.
screen. Yep.
So from here, we're gonna want to go into analysis, okay? And this is going to kind of give you three different important areas. We're gonna focus on two of the three. We're gonna focus on the summary, and then we're gonna focus on the structured data. This is gonna enable us to basically get a good summary of basically VAPI is very good. It'll take notes from the call to be
Okay.
sent through to our Airtable,
Yep.
and then we'll extract specific parts of that call, such as name, phone number, email, appointment date that they prefer to also send to Airtable.
Okay.
So that's really important for making sure we have all the good information from the call. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take from this little document right here. And if you want, what we'll do is we'll give these prompts, we'll put them in the description. That way you can just copy and paste them.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
we can
edit
put
it.
them on a Google Doc and happy to share
Yeah.
that in the description. Yeah, for sure.
That'd be perfect. So what you can do is you're going to have the summary prompt. I'm going to copy it from my doc right here.
Yep.
And this is a success evaluation to see. Basically, it's going to tell us if they're interested in or what that they were interested in booking an appointment. It'll basically just tell us true or false. Is what it says. So it says you're an expert call evaluator. Your job is to analyze the call, tell us if the person we are speaking to is interested in booking an appointment. If the user gave their email, reply true. If the user did not give us their email, reply false. So instead of just saying email, we could actually just say give us their contact
Yeah.
information, kind of for a more general
Yeah.
purpose. Gotta learn how to spell. If they did not give us their contact. All right. So that's for this summary prompt right here.
All
We're
right.
not going to worry about success evaluation in this build. That's just kind of a more advanced. It's not necessary for this build today. So we'll go down here to the other part of the doc we'll give you guys. And it's going to say this right here. We'll copy that. Go back into VAPI. We'll paste this into the structured data. Now, the structured data is important. Like I said, it's going to be grabbing that specific information we want. So it says you will be given a transcript of a call and the system prompt for an AI. Your job is to extract an email from the user we're speaking to. Let's just say extract any contact information from the user we're speaking to, extract the time they want to book an appointment, extract the date the person wants to book an appointment for, extract the phone number of the caller. And let's see, we've got our date, call, phone call. Okay, yeah, because for like a real estate agency, you want to make sure they have the phone number and the email and the time that they're wanting to book an appointment. So those are going to be the most important things. And think of this as kind of the background. This is what makes VAPI so special. Is VAPI is able to recognize what it needs to do and then basically call on certain functions or take certain actions based off of what's happening in the conversation. Most of the other agent builders out there, they're not bad. It's just they don't have this much, and like I call it intent-based functionality, where it really is good at understanding what's happening in the conversation and what to do from that point. So it makes it so beginner friendly, and it's also enables you to build really advanced stuff too. So you can really scale. If you're making like an agency built with these features, it's so easy to scale because you can get as in depth as you want to, or you can make it as basic as you want to, just depending on what type of service you're offering. So now we kind of get into that. You always want to again press publish, make sure you're good there. So now at this point, we need to go and do another important thing. We made that really nice make.com scenario a second ago. And remember that link in the webhook right here. You can just press copy address to clipboard. That's going to copy this link right here. I mean, so make sure you get that on your clipboard. We're going to go hop back into VAPI. Make sure it's published. I don't want to lose any of that. And then we're going to go into advanced. And then under advanced, you're going to see this part right here. It says server URL. That's where you're going to paste your webhook. So that's going to basically
that's where it translates all the information that we get from VAPI to make.
Exactly. And when I first started building agents, there was a really important part that I left out, and it caused a really big problem. And I'm going to show you how to avoid that problem right here. We gave it our webhook. Now, if we just leave it like this and we let it start doing its automations, it's going to send, every time somebody calls in, it's going to send like duplicate information, which just overloads the database. It makes your go high level messy. Not really good if you're trying to sell this as a service. All right, so right here we got our webhook inserted right there. It's listening. This is an important part to kind of avoid that duplicate problem I was talking about a second ago. Right here where it says client messages, you want to click this menu, press select all, and then deselect. Okay, that's going to basically kind of give you a clean slate. And what this is going to do is now we're going to go in here. Absolutely. We're going to go conversation update. We're going to click that box. We're going to do function call. We're going to hang. We're going to do metadata, and then we're going to do status update. Okay, make sure all those are checked. So same thing on server messages. Check, uncheck. And then we're going to do end of call script and function call. That's the only thing we're going to be wanting to save when the calls come in. That's going to avoid that kind of duplicate issue I was telling you about. So if you run into that problem, you're building these things, probably what's going on. Real quick too, on the analysis part, I did forget one thing. So we got to add right here on the structured data. So if you scroll all the way back down, we're going to want to add properties, right? So this is basically telling VAPI what we want to do with the specific information. So like when we're getting the name, when we're getting, the type of information we're extracting from the call. So like for the first one, it's going to be phone number. I always think that's super. Actually, no, let's start with name. I'm going to say full name. And then it's really cool because you can tell VAPI what it is. And that's what I was saying, like it's intent based. This description is going to be used, it's going to be sent to their own kind of processing. So based off the description, it's going to know what should be here. So this
Okay.
is the full name of the caller. So you just tell Vappy what this is, and you can build any property you would like to. This one's going to be phone number. And so we can say add a description. You want to make sure in the type it's string. That's just basically a field of text, or
Okay.
it's helpful when we want to make sure we're handling the data properly on the
Yep.
back end. Phone number. This is the phone.
And guys, just while we're building this out, like if you guys want to skip this whole process, you think it's too complicated, you can book a call with Andon directly, and he can either help you one-on-one, or there's templates available that he has that are already pre-built, and he can also give you.
Absolutely. That way, if you kind of just want to make it a plug and play type of deal, it's just super easy. If you just want if you have a client that wants this and you just want it to be something they can take and run with, we can make that super easy for you. We got full name, phone number, email. Probably want to do street address.
Yes, definitely.
Because we're working with it. You want to think about who you're working with. So we're working with a real estate agency. They're going to definitely need the street address that their client is calling from. This is the home street address of. All right, so now we have our data structure set up properly. So when we're interacting with our agent, it's going to pass this information to our make.com scenario.
Perfect.
Just to kind of give you some insight of what's going on. So we've done all that. We have everything set up. We have our function transcriber. Okay, the next thing we have Sonnet logged in there. You can upload a knowledge base if you want. I haven't messed around with that too much. I don't like adding too much information that's not necessary, because you got to think like Vappy is going to use it and read through that information. It's really good if it's like a customer service agent that needs to know specifically how to work through a problem. For something like this, that's just taking phone calls. You want it to book appointments. That's where the money is. Like when you're building these things, you want to make sure it's the highest value for your client. And for the most part, AI is so good at booking appointments. So you can take this wherever you want to. That's just kind of the guardrails I put up to make sure it's working the way we want it to.
Fantastic.
And the fun part is when we're building out and we're selecting a voice, right? So off the bat, it's kind of got this kind of basic sounding voice. I always use 11 Labs. It's like it's going to cost you a penny or two more per minute, but the realism you get from 11 Labs is so good. Like that's what's going to give you those ums, those ahs, those pauses that make it really human-like.
Definitely.
I remember the first week I had this going for a roofing company, I was going back and listening to the recordings, and nobody could even, from what I could tell, nobody knew it was an AI, which you can choose to let them know up front it's an AI, or you can choose not to. It's completely up to you. But we're gonna stick with Sarah right now.
Sure.
Before we go any further in the automation, or the build here, let me make sure everything is good. We're gonna actually jump on and we're gonna listen to this thing and just see where we're at.
Hopefully I can hear it.
What I did is I'm actually gonna play it through my phone. That way it can actually play through the mic.
Should
So
work.
I just got Vappy open up my phone. It's gonna play through. So we're gonna go ahead and hop on a call with the assistant and just kind of see what the conversation's like.
Yeah, excellent. Let's do it.
Hello, this is Abby from Stone Real Estate Agency. How can I assist you today?
Hi, I'm trying to sell my house.
Hi there. Thanks for reaching out about selling your property. I'd be happy to help get that process started for you. Could you tell me a bit about your home? Where in Sydney is it located?
Yeah, it's located on 123 Broad Street. It's a 3-bedroom, two bathroom house, all on 1 story.
Thanks for those details. Sounds like you've got a lovely single-story home there on Broadridge Street. I'd love to connect you with one of our experienced real estate agents who can give you a proper market appraisal and discuss your selling options. Would you like me to arrange for an agent to contact you? If so, I'll just need your name and best contact number.
Yeah, so my name is Andon Elmore. And then from there, well, we're going to end it there because that's going to go to the next part of our functionality. But you can see it sounds pretty decent. It's doing the right thing. When you're testing this initially, you just want to make sure it's picking up the intent, kind of the flow of the conversation is good. I'm pretty happy with that. Honestly, out of the box, that was pretty good for the
And
first time
that
testing
was
it.
pretty good. And the other thing to note is you can customize the voice, like you were saying, obviously off camera, record the client's voice and have it sounding like them. And that's actually what, brought us together, right? Because we have a few clients within our agency. I'm sure you guys have been following along the journey. We've actually brought Andon on to help us build this and incorporate into our service delivery
Yeah.
as well. And that's what you were saying, which is, man, that's awesome. It's kind of
Yeah.
scary, but yeah,
Yeah, we could probably do a separate video on that alone
yeah. I
of
mean,
because
why not?
yeah,
Why
we're
not?
using 11 Labs, and 11 Labs is its own software. And you go on there, you record a 5-minute segment of yourself, and you can have a voice playing through and doing using your VAPI prompt that we just built right
Yeah.
here. And I would love to show that off too. It's pretty simple, honestly. So now we've got our voice agent talking to us, which
Yep.
is great. So the next thing that's important, we have to make sure this is going to send all the information into our make.com scenario, which is what gives the value to your clients, right? So
Yes.
we're going to hop back in here and we're going to make sure this time we have our webhook set up. It's sending information over here. We're
Yep.
going to want to go back into, let's see.
So this test that you did just now, was that supposed to record all of the things that you said, or no, not?
So I didn't initialize the automation just yet.
Okay.
So now that we're going to be working through the automation part of it, we're going to go
Yep.
ahead and initialize that. And just so you know, Cody, like this will be kind of some back and forth, so we might have to kind of edit it a little bit as we go on,
Sure.
because now we're going to be interacting with the agent again to make sure it's listening. So
Okay.
if you're right here on the screen on make.com, you're going to want to come down here, you're going to press run once, and you're going to press wait for new data.
Okay.
So now our webhook is online. It's now listening. So we're going to go in, we're going to talk with our agent again.
Okay.
This is Abby from Stone Real Estate Agency. How can I assist you today?
Hello, I just want to speak with a real estate agent about selling my house.
I understand you'd like to speak with an agent about selling your property. I'd be happy to have one of our experienced agents contact you. They can provide you with a market appraisal and discuss our sales strategy. Could I get your name and the best contact number to reach you on?
Yeah, my name is Andon Elmore. A good number is 123-456-7890.
Thanks, Andon. I've got your details here. Andon Elmore and 123-456-7890. I'll have one of our agents call you back during business hours to discuss selling your property. They can walk you through the whole process and provide a free market appraisal. Is there anything specific about your property you'd like me to note for the agent, like the location or number of bedrooms?
It's just in Sydney, Australia, just for your information. And it's also got 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
Perfect. Thanks for those details. So I'll let the agent know it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom property in Sydney. I'll make sure they get in touch with you to discuss selling your home. Is there a particular time of day that works best for them to call you?
Yeah, 2 p.m. tomorrow works fine.
Great. I'll make sure an agent calls you tomorrow at 2 p.m.
So I'm going to end it there. So now we're going to just wait for the webhook to come through. We had to kind of give it some more information. That way it can fill out those fields we just made a second ago in VAPI.
Yep.
And now you can see, now that the phone call's ended, we have it catching that stuff right here.
Yeah, I
Right?
see that. It has one phone call.
So
Yep.
we have our message. This is going to
Yep.
bring in all of our stuff we broke down. Let me check it out here. Analysis, summary. It's got our summary there, structured data. So now you can see through make.com, we have our structured data. It's got my name that it pulled through.
Yep.
It's got the number we gave it. It's got a success evaluation basically stating that we are in fact interested in working and trying to sell our house in this case. So what we can do is say, okay, how does this work with Airtable? So if you go into Airtable without configuring anything, we got a blank.
Mhm.
It's blank. We had to do that initially. I wanted to show that initially because we don't have anything to send data from the webhook to the Airtable just yet. So in order to configure the Airtable, now that we got some information, we can start utilizing the information from the webhook to fill out our Airtable.
Okay.
So we can come into our analysis tab. So we want to start filling in this information as it's relevant, right?
Sure.
Make sure we're using all the good stuff here. So I like to put a timestamp on it for the time of the call. That way you can see what day, what time
Yeah,
the
definitely.
call came in. Actually, that's actually not the good one to use. You want to see where it says ended at. This is going to be the time that the call ended. So that's
Okay.
going to tell us in our Airtable when it ended. We can go to our phone number. We want to make sure that it's actually based off of the data that we extracted. And there's a really good way to make it. Now, I'm doing a web-based call, meaning I'm calling through VAPI. But if I was calling from my personal phone number
Yep.
on the webhook, it would actually show that phone number I called from. When you're
Okay.
building this for your client, you want to use that, and you'll be able to
Yeah.
find it. This is all the webhook data right here that it just pulled from.
Yep.
You would want to go and find the called from number. It's going to be like a little box like this, and
Okay.
it's going to have the exact number they called from. I always use that for my clients when I'm using this in a real scenario, because if they tell the number, let's just say it got like one number wrong, maybe the AI wasn't doing it didn't transcribe it perfectly. Maybe the caller was like in a noisy environment.
Yep.
You're going to miss that really key information. So you want to use the direct number that they called from. Let's
Makes
just
sense.
make sure.
And you only need to do this once. Is that right?
Yeah. Once you set it up, you're good, man. You're good to
Okay.
go. We don't want to use any of
So
that.
far, I mean, it doesn't seem too complex. I think everyone watching can sort of follow along this journey and do it. I think it's just time consuming, and there's a lot of little details that I've noticed that you need to get right. Otherwise, something won't work.
Yeah.
You know, make sure what you watch is 2, 3, 4, 5 times, or again, you can click the button below in the description and just book a call and have it all done for you.
Yeah, and I'll go and give you some insight. Like I've been working with Make.com for about it, and then not even really a year, but most of that's been, self-study. You don't have to be an expert to do this. You
Yeah.
have to get used to this information, like these boxes. It can be really overwhelming at first, but once you get used to it, it becomes second nature. Like what I'm about to do right here. See where it says phone number? And then
Yep.
we have phone number. We have the Airtable. We're going to want to plug that phone number right there. So now it's taking the data from the webhook and
Yep.
putting it on the phone number tab to be inserted into Airtable. Make.com makes it so easy to just look at the box and say, what information do I need? Okay, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put that there.
Yeah.
So you can really, I mean, you can do it with any use case you have. You can build this how you need it to. So we have our call summary. This is really good. It's going to actually take the notes from the call itself and put it into a call summary in our
Okay.
Airtable. So we're going to want to go here. I lost it for a second. On the summary tab, make
Yep.
sure that's right there. And so on that, so we do have to do a little bit of prompt engineering. The VAPI prompt did not actually ask for a time that they wanted to book an appointment. This is perfectly fine.
It
This when
said
you're
2
testing
p.m. though.
this, I actually had to kind of tell it like, hey, I want to talk to somebody. It didn't actually initialize that part, but
No.
we'll fix that. So we can go back into our VAPI and say, hey, make sure you set an appointment with the caller. So it's
Yeah.
actually good we
Okay.
ran into a
That's
little
the
issue
goal.
like that, because you want to make sure that your agent's on point. So for right now, we're not going to put anything in the date because we want to make sure if we're taking this is going to be the date for the appointment right here.
Yep.
Which would come up right here on the structured data when you
Okay.
pull data from VAPI. If it's pulling all the data we told it to and designed it to, you would have full name, phone number, the time for the appointment. If they put an email in, it would put an email in there as well.
Yep.
So it would be under there. We're not going to do that for now because the agent did not ask for those things properly, which we will get fixed. We have time zone if you want to put a time zone section there. But the other one, and this is really important for your clients when you're building this, is you want to make sure it's got a recording URL. So anytime someone calls in, it's going to go ahead and store the actual live recording into our Airtable.
Awesome.
So we're going to press OK. So now this Airtable we built is going to have all that nice information plugged right in for us along the way. So every time you go to start your make.com scenario, again, press save and you want to press run. Now, when this is live, all you would do to get this live, you press immediately as data arrives.
Yep.
Now, this make.com scenario is always on, listening for the data as it comes in.
Perfect.
We're gonna keep it off because we're testing it for right now. We're gonna press run. Instead of pressing wait for new data, which would basically make me have to go call the agent again, we're just gonna say use the existing data from the call we just had. That way we don't gotta go through that process again. So it's just rerun the scenario as if we've just called in. And now we go over to our Airtable. Okay, so yeah, anytime you create an Airtable, it's gonna kind of give you some these boxes. You can just delete those. So now it's got everything right here for us. It's got the transcript
Yep.
right here. Actually, I want to make this, instead of being a single line text, we're going to make this a long text. So now we can full screen that. It's got a basically what happened while the caller and we're not did provide his name, the transcript ends abruptly before we're getting contact information. And eventually we would have date, email, time zone if that's relevant. For this build, I wouldn't put time zone, honestly. We can just get rid of that one. And the phone number, of course. And the cool thing is, like I said, you can open up the call recording. And
Oh
I
yeah,
always like showing this. This is all great and all. We now are able to take information from VAPI, put it into a spreadsheet. And what's going to make this even more valuable, if you're an agency owner, of course, you should be pretty familiar with Go High Level.
Yes.
And if you're not, that's okay. It's pretty easy to get used to. The only thing we're going to be showcasing on this build in particular is how to now get the information from VAPI to Airtable and then to Go High Level.
Yep.
Now, you could do this where it's just straight from VAPI to Go High Level, and that's fine. I just noticed that if you put Airtable as the in the middle, it's really good. It's just more, you can organize your data a lot better. And you want to have, you want to be organized, especially if you're selling this to your client. You want to be as organized as you possibly can. So I like to use Airtable as like kind of your middle ground just before you send it off. So in order to be able to send it to Go High Level, we have to be able to go ahead and add Go High Level into our make.com scenario. So it's pretty easy because Go High Level is directly integrated with make.com. You're going to open your Go High Level with make.com right here. And again, same how you log into your Airtable, you're going to want to log in again to Go High Level right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to press create a contact. So this will enable basically for us to create a contact. And look, we have our, I have a couple different connections right here. This is the roofing company that actually has the service existing.
Yep.
I'm going to go to my demo account. And what we'll do is it's pretty, so since we've already set up Airtable, we're going to want to go ahead and utilize that information. So we can say like first name. So we want to use the information from Go High Level to do this. Say created thing. Let me see here. Okay. So even though we don't have any, we didn't get an email from that last call, we can still plug in the variable that's going to put the email in for us. You'd want to put phone number as well in the phone section and the first name. And what I need to do actually is basically create a field in Airtable, full name. We do a single line text, create the field. I'll put this closer to the beginning actually. So now I didn't create that initially, but you want to go into your Airtable, make sure there's a full name right there.
Yep.
And we can pull from VAPI. So we're gonna put, so because I just updated that in a different place, we're gonna press refresh. And now it's gonna be able to put the full name right here on the analysis. Let me see, it was actually under, where are we at here? Messages. Oh dear. Sorry, one sec. I'm trying to, there we go. Full name, street address. And then that way you can insert all that information in there as well. Okay. So now we're able to make a name, or I'm sorry, a contact name or a contact with based off of what VAPI gives us. And we're going to want to press refresh here because again, we kind of updated it. And then we'll go here and we'll put, let's see here, phone number. I did put that all right. Phone number, full name, first name. It's interesting. It's not popping up right there. Let me redo this part. Create contact. Go here. You see. Now we got first. No, we got email, phone number, and now we have full name right here to be inserted in the full name. So now we can create the contact that way. So that should be it. Just for this is a very bare bones kind of basic way to get the contact uploaded and Go High Level. The other thing I like to do is actually get it to create notes and add notes to that contact, right? Definitely. So we're going to want to go in here and let's say add a note to the contact. So you have a bunch of different actions you can take in Go High Level from just basically right here in Make. Yep. So actually it's saying add, we need to do create notes. Let's go in here, search notes, add a note to a contact. Yeah, I'm going to say add a new note to the contact. Same. Let me see here. It should just pop up with the, yeah, okay. So when you're here, you want to press map. Yep. Instead of like doing the drop down menu, just do map. And now I'll be able to take information from It's going to be this one. You want to get the go high level contact ID that it
Yep.
creates. So once it creates a new contact, you're going to want that.
Okay. Yep. So then
And
it
then you're
will
going to
put it
want
in that specific contact. Yep. Makes sense.
100%. And then under here where it says body, you want to get the call summary where we built an Airtable.
Yep.
So now it's going to add that note to that contact ID. That's going to say, okay. So now we're going to kind of go from start to finish here and do a quick live demo and make sure it's getting all the information we want. Just before I do that though, I want to make sure that we got our prompt where we want it to be.
Yeah.
So because I noticed, let's see, ask for their full name. Let's say, always make sure to guide the caller to booking an appointment with our agency if they are interested
Yep.
in buying or selling a ask for their full name, ask what property they're interested in. Okay, so now, because if I didn't add that line, you'll kind of notice, like I said, on the last part of the demo, it just kind of said, okay, I'm good. Like it didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
We
No.
want to make sure
Yeah.
it's prompted to do the right thing here. So we'll come in here and we're going to talk. We're going to talk with the assistant again,
All right.
and we're going to make sure our make.com scenario is running.
This is Abby from Stone Real Estate Agency. How can I assist you today?
Hi, Abby. I wanted to speak with an agent about selling my house.
Hi there. I'd be happy to help you get started with selling your house. Our experienced agents would love to provide you with a property appraisal and discuss your selling options. Could I get your full name so I can arrange a consultation with one of our agents?
Yeah, my name is Andon Elmore.
Thanks, Andon. I'd like to schedule you for a consultation with one of our agents. They can visit your property, provide a market appraisal, and discuss our selling strategy. What would be your preferred date and time to meet? We're available Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
I think Saturday would be best. We could probably shoot for like around the afternoon time, maybe.
Saturday afternoon sounds great. Would 1 p.m. work for you? And
Yeah.
could I get your property address and a contact number so we can confirm all the details?
Yeah, 1 p.m. is fine. My address is 123 Broad Street. That's Sydney, Australia. And my phone number is 123-456-7890.
Perfect. Let me confirm everything with you. Name, Andon Elmer. Address, 123 Broad Street, Sydney. Appointment, Saturday at 1 p.m. Contact number, 1234 567 890. Does all of that look correct? One of our agents will come by to provide a property appraisal and discuss our selling process. You can expect a confirmation call from our office tomorrow during business hours. Is there anything else you'd like to know about our selling process?
Sounds good, Abby. I look forward to seeing you guys this weekend.
Wonderful. We look forward to meeting you on Saturday, Andon. Thank you for choosing Stone Real Estate.
Okay, so that should send us through.
Yep.
And capture that information from Vappy right there. And is it
Fantastic.
okay? I'm going to share.
Yeah.
Once
Share
it's
your
actually
screen.
created and go high level. So from there, we press refresh on our contacts page.
Yep. There we go.
And this is where we actually have the contact that was created based off of the phone call we had. So this is going to be where the extreme value is going to be added for
Yeah.
your client, especially if they're already on go high level. We've now got from the call from Vappy sent
Yep.
to an Airtable and then sent straight into go high level.
Awesome.
And if you're familiar with go high level at all, you'll know that you can do various automations, various marketing. The sky is pretty much the limit from here.
Yeah.
But this is you give this to a local business who maybe isn't that big, doesn't have a big team, and they're missing calls all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're having the phone ring, they're running ads, and then they're missing those calls. Like this is basically going to enable them to have the call answered 24/7. If someone calls at midnight, like they're not going to miss that call. It's weird, but that alone, that speed to lead, that basically making it where the client you're working with never misses a phone call again. There's so much value just in that
So
right
much
there.
value
You
there.
could sell this, yeah. And just so you know, like out the gate, like for my first time ever building this and selling this to a roofing company, it was $2,000 for a setup fee. And they didn't blink an eye. They said, "Yep, let's sign up. Let's get it going." So, if there's anything I can say is like, as far as connecting the phone number, you got to kind of think about that. Do some research. They're going to have a phone carrier that they use. You're going to have to, do a little bit of research on your own to make sure that it's connected to their phone carrier the correct way, because that's kind of something that came up that I didn't expect to deal with. But as you as a service giver, you kind of have to work those problems with them. But you get it up and operating for them, you will be you they will look at you like you're a magician because of this. And it's a simple thing, the first time you do this, it might take some time to build, but once it's up and running, I mean, you're good to go, and you get the experience of saying, wow, okay, I can build things,
Yeah.
pretty good.
And that's awesome. So we're done.
That's it. So just for this this is a very good, I wanted to show you case like how to
Yeah.
build your first VAPI agent, how to use make.com. If you've used it before, this should actually be pretty easy for you.
Yep.
If you've never used it before, hopefully it was beginner friendly enough. And at least if
Yep.
it wasn't beginner friendly enough, you think about that tool I gave you at the first, Perplexity. Like
Yep.
when I learned how to use Perplexity, which is basically AI connected to the internet, I've never had a problem that I couldn't solve. It might take me an hour to work through something. Like just now, I told you when you go to connect this agent to the voice carrier, I don't know anything about voice carriers. I don't know anything about Verizon. Over in the States, we have Verizon, we have AT&T, we have these big companies. I'm like, how do I get VAPI to connect with them? And all I did is I just leaned to my tools. I had no idea how to do it, but you do research that way, and you say, hey, hey, Perplexity, I have this VAPI agent. I'm trying to connect it to
Yep.
my client who's a roofer. Their mobile number is this. How do I do this? And I worked through it. It took me a little bit of time, but an hour, and I was able to get it up and running for them. And now if you call that business, you are directly greeted with that agent, an agent just like that, and it's able to take actions inside of their go high level account. So,
Yep.
um, the way I see this is if you already have an agency or you want to build an agency built off of this um, type of product, you can work it both ways. If you already have an agency, add it as a service. It's a extremely valuable service that solves a lot of problems out the box. And if you haven't started an agency yet and you're kind of looking at something like what's a big like selling point, I mean, it sells itself. If you're able to do a demo, the second if you can build a demo for your clients to see, you don't even have to do the automation we just built.
No.
Build you a voice demo that you can call with them and let them talk to it. And that's how I sold it initially. I worked with a roofing company that you know, I I knew them a little bit, but that's the way I got a meeting is how I knew them, and I was like, hey, I have this thing. And they were like, wow, that sounds cool. We'd like to learn more. I got an in-person meeting because they're local to me.
Yep.
And I brought my phone and I said, hey, just have a conversation with it. And the look on their face when because I branded it to them, I branded it to
Yeah.
their business name, I branded it to their location. You got to kind of put all that in your prompt. You brand it to them and they hear it talking their language, their brand. They go, it just, you see a smile light up on their face and you're like, that's why it's such a good feeling to see that. And then at that point, the next question for them was like, okay, how much is this going to cost?
Yeah.
And with a straight face, I was like, well, it'll be $2,000 setup fee. And I'm not even kidding. She grabbed her checkbook and started writing right there. I was like, okay, it's awesome. So, that was my first time selling something like this, but it was a great feeling. And since then, it's just been adding skills and getting better. So, whether you're a beginner or you've done this a little bit, hopefully you find this super helpful for you.
Man, it's been fantastic to have you on, guys. Any questions, please feel free to reach out to him. Contact will be in the description. Also, if you want to book a call and get something set up for yourself, or you want to buy a template or whatever it is that you want, I'll leave everything in the first link in the description so you guys can directly reach out to Andon. And yeah, Andon, it's been a pleasure to have you on the channel. Thank you so much.